to begin. Thanks, guys.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Canva for Realtors Part 2. We are sponsored by the New Member Success Committee and the Education Committee, and we are so excited to bring this to you.
Absolutely. You want to go with your introduction, Samantha?
Yeah, do you want to click the next? There we go. Okay, so my name is Samantha Cathers. As you guys know me from last time, I am a real estate agent here in Bucks and Montgomery County. I work specifically with first-time home buyers and first-time home sellers. I've gained a lot of my clients, friends, family, followers, all on social media. About 70% of my clients come from social media. So this is why I love to present the Canva for Realtors. I want to bring the knowledge that I've had and give to you so that you can do the same.
That's awesome. And I am Javier Nichols, the chair of the New Member Success Committee. Super excited about doing this part 2 because you're going to get a really in-depth look of Canva. I train real estate agents just everywhere and just empower them with the tools and information that you guys need to truly succeed. And Canva has just been, like we had, called it in the beginning, the mothership of all content. It allows us to do so much. And the fact that we are able to educate agents on it is why I'm here, because you guys need this. And most importantly, some of the things we're going to show you today, you haven't seen before. So hopefully you got some popcorn and a pen and pad. Or both, right?
I have it all.
Yeah, there we go.
So today we are going to talk about creating your brand, discovering templates and how to find the right ones, how to effectively maximize your brand by repurposing your content, camera angles and how to use them for different platforms, and how to plan out your social media posts. A lot of today's presentation is going to be demonstrations so that you can take this and use it for you and your business.
Absolutely. And if you guys have any questions along the way, just make sure you're putting them in the chat so we can address them. And once we're on the live Canva walkthrough, you're going to be able to unmute yourselves and ask us questions directly so we can do it while we're working. Cool?
Yes, all questions are very welcome.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here we're going to be talking about creating your brand. So this is how you're going to be creating a brand kit. You're going to go into your brand kit on the top left of your screen and your home screen, create add new, and then you're going to be typing in the brand, your name of the brand. So I did my brand, my logo, so you understand exactly what I'm doing. Then you're going to drag and drop your logo into this section here, and it's going to auto populate with the colors that are on your logo. So mine are black and like that dark pink color. I'm a very bright person, so pink has to be on there. And then you could also add colors to your palette. You'll see later I did add another pink in there because obviously I love pink. So you go in, add more colors, make it who you are, and keep them consistent throughout your brand. You could also change the fonts when changing your brand. So you do the title, the subtitle, the heading, subheading, section header, body, quote, caption. First, I only did the titles, subheading, subtitle, and heading, because those are the three that I usually use the most. And I kept them looking the same so that way when I go to post, it's not too busy. And this is just demonstrating how I did that.
I love that. And one of the things that I want to point out while you're watching this screen record is that this is the starting point for everyone. Everyone needs to start here. And this is, of course, the pro version of Canva. We all need to jump into this. That's not a plug. That's just a fact, because you're able to really synchronize your entire brand online. And this is something that we need to do out of the gate. One of the most discouraging things is when you start to post content and you do not get the reaction. And again, we're not counting the likes, but you do not get the reaction and longevity that you're looking for because you keep changing the fonts and changing the color tones. You need to keep a base there so you can make sure you're consistent across. So this is why we wanted to make sure you guys seen this starting out so you know where to start before you start to create.
And you want to stay recognizable. Javier, if you want to go back and just, I wanted to point out something on this. Go to the end of the presentation on the very bottom of the screen. Okay, so you see where it says photos, go back a little bit, sorry.
That's okay. So I will play it from here.
Yeah. Okay, so see where it says photos and graphics, just like your logo, you could add in photos and graphics that you constantly use in your marketing. And this will also populate more colors that you can use, but don't create so much where it's too busy. Create something that it's simple and recognizable. I just wanted to add that in there because that's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that because again, it's standing out is why we're here. I mean, literally, there's a lot of real estate professionals out there in our market, and we need to continuously up our game. And by standing out and adding these in, it's going to make it simple.
Yeah. Next, we're going to get into creating a post for social media. This also can be used to create flyers, or any kind of document that you're trying to create in Canva. But here I'm demonstrating how to do it for social media. So if you see the pink little hand there, it's just creating a design. You drop down. I used Instagram Square for this one because that's the most common one that I use. You could click on that. And then once you click on that, it will have an option to select a design on your left-hand side. So here I typed in real estate Instagram post because it gives you a bunch of different options and it gives you the information already. So here you can see I did renting versus owning, which is actually a very common real estate post, especially for your first post on social media. So here you click on one of the designs that you like. And then if you want to click on the next slide, there's a video on how to customize it to you and your brand. So if you see my textiles are already populated from my brand kit here. So I'm going into my heading and changing that to look like my brand kit. So whenever I go to post, it looks exactly like my last post that I had. And then you could just see me going in there and changing all the fonts. And then after this, you're going to see me get into changing colors to my brand. So the colors will change to more of a pink color. So I stay recognizable.
100%. And the renting versus owning, by the way, is again, as Samantha mentioned, is a great starting point. Because a lot of us need to continuously educate the renters in our market and use that as I don't want to call it a trigger, but more or less of a pain point, right? Because a lot of us live in communities right now where rentals are more than mortgages. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Philadelphia came out with it was a list. I believe Philadelphia was on that list of showing that it's more inexpensive to buy than to rent. One of the few cities in the country. So you will find that focusing on this topic and diving deeper into this topic, because again, we're going to talk about repurposing, right? Repurposing your content. You could take something as simple as this and turn it into a video, turn it into a carousel, turn it into an animated reel, right? And you're continuously pressing onto a pain point, which again, makes you the subject matter expert for your community. So that's one of the things that I love about Canva is it allows you to do it with ease. And as we're watching her just really go through the motions of creating, we're going to do this live, but it's always good to kind of understand the flow of it. It is intimidating for those of you who are just starting out, but once you are consistent, you will find this is like, easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And one of the things we pointed out in part 1 was that you can save time with Canva. You don't have to go doing the research to figure out why is it better to rent versus why is it better to own. You can just type in something in Canva and they'll give it to you.
100%. So we're going to go to the next slide now.
So just like I said earlier, you could also use this to create an open house flyer or anything else that you're looking to do. Just type it in the create your design section, and then go ahead and change your brand when you click on the post.
Absolutely. And we're going to be doing a just listed and just sold. But does anyone want to see an open house as well while we're in it? And if you can put that in the chat, I can go there and make sure, because we do have a couple of samples we're going to live demonstrate for you. But if we can get some suggestions, that's going to be very helpful as well for those of you who are in the building. Because I want you guys to get exactly what you came here for today. I'm telling y'all, this is the best information you could be receiving at this time of the year, because summer just kicked off and now you're going to hit the ground running with some Canva knowledge.
Yeah, it sounds like everyone's on board with the open house flyer.
Oh my God, I'm loving it. Fill the chat box up. Do not be shy. That's why we're here. Next slide. Okay, so positioning your camera. Now, before we enter into this amazing world of Canva, there are some rules, and we need to follow these rules in order to be most effective. Okay, so the vertical straight up, this position, that's going to be more of your short form videos. So make sure you are not only, of course, you're going to receive the recording to this amazing presentation, but you need to be writing this stuff down to remember these rules. Because if you go into some of these platforms and you do not respect the camera angle, you're going to run into a situation where your video or your content piece is out of whack. And if it's out of whack, no one's watching it. No one's reading it, and everyone's skipping right past it, which is ineffective. So we have to be very effective in doing so. So make sure that if you're going to do a short-term video on Instagram, on YouTube Shorts, on TikTok, make sure your phone is up and down. Now, I get it. Some of y'all on here, like, we know that already. But this is for those of you who are entering into this space or going into these apps for the first time, and you really need to make sure you are recording properly. Another thing is make sure before you get started recording, whether it's forward facing or outward facing, take a little cloth like this, if you can see my screen, clean off the lens. Just give it a little, one of those breath checks, right? You just blowing some hot breath on it and clean off the lens. I cannot stress this enough. There are plenty of people on social media making content in good faith, but you can't see them.
It is so blurry.
Or the lights, right? Or the lights are blurred out and the lights are bleeding and you can see like the strip, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no one's going to want to look at that or click on it, unfortunately.
No one's going to tell you.
Yeah, though it could be great information. They don't care. They want to see it.
100%. 100%. And this is why it is very important that you take heed to this advice now. Okay. Looking at a video of yours that looks crappy, it's not going to be a good feeling. So make sure you clean the camera off, have good lighting, but make sure you're following these rules for these platforms. Now, for the long form horizontal, which will be sideways, that's going to be really good for Facebook, really good for YouTube. You can always utilize that for LinkedIn as well. But Instagram allows for this in some regard, but there is a lot of blank space above and underneath the video, which may not be the right audience, may not be the right view for the audience, depending on what you're doing. Now, as you get to where you want to be as far as consistency and you get a good follower count and you get some good loyal, you can do whatever you want because your content is now, social proof. But when you get started, you have to follow these directions. All right. So resizing. When we get into Canva, we're going to see how we can make sure our sizes are appropriate for that piece of content. For that platform. So as I just mentioned about the horizontal and the vertical, going into this, you're going to now have dimensions. There are dimensions for each of these platforms that are different. Has anybody in here ever seen a video on social media and the wording was just cut off, or the person's body was cut off, or the text was cut off? Has anyone seen that before? You can just put it in the chat or unmute yourself.
I don't know about you, but I've seen the black sides of it on the black sides of the video.
Yeah. And it's tough to watch, right? You feel bad because you're not connecting 100%. So again, make sure you pay attention to the dimensions that we're going to be playing with these platforms. You want to add anything in on that, Samantha? Your thoughts about the resizing, because that's definitely a eyesore, right?
Yeah, so even when you're doing videos and taking videos, like say you're doing a property walkthrough, you want to create a video for all of the platforms that you use. So if you're creating one for Instagram, you want to have it vertical, just like you were talking about. And when you are creating one for YouTube, you want to have it this way. So don't be afraid to take a walkthrough of that house twice, because you're going to have to repurpose that content. But if you go in and you're taking just a vertical video and you go to post it on, YouTube or somewhere else that you need just like that horizontal look, it's going to look silly. You're going to have the black sides on it, and then your words will get cut off because you're going to go in and edit it and then try and repost it somewhere else. It's not going to look good.
100%. And that's again the time, the seconds, right? We all write this down as well. Okay, you have between 1 to 3 seconds to capture a person's attention.
Yeah.
1 to 3 seconds. And sometimes it's shorter than that, like a quarter of a second. I know that sounds crazy fast, but think how fast you slide your fingers or your thumb up and down that phone when you're going into Instagram, right? You may be staying on a post for a half a second, quarter of a second. And those first those first, 2 movements need to connect. So this is why this background, yeah, we're going to put that on. We're going to definitely show you the different dimensions, but this is why having this background foundation laid out before you enter will give you at least a fair chance of getting those full 3 seconds and not getting cut off from the first quarter second.
Yeah. Think of it like this. When you're scrolling on Instagram or scrolling on TikTok or Facebook, what grabs your attention? And don't copy them, but think of what gains your attention in a video when you're making a video.
Love it. Exactly. All right. So let me actually start this over, by the way, because I think this went a little fast. All right.
It is a fast video. Sorry
cool.
about that. So just restart it in like a minute when it stops. But anyway, this is something I love about Canva. Like we had said in part 1, having so many different apps is so frustrating. So when Canva first came out, they didn't have this specific use and tool to it. So it's planning your posts. You can go on Canva and plan them. So here you're going to watch me in this video, press share, go to share on social, and then you could schedule. Here you're going to want to link your Instagram, your Facebook, all to Canva. And once you do, it'll come up with a calendar for you. Every time that you create a post, go in there and share it. So that way on Tuesday at 3 p.m. when you're showing your clients, you're still able to post on social media and not have to worry about it. Once you go into your calendar, you should be able to create a caption, add hashtags, add a location, anything that you need. So you don't have to worry about it later. And you could just go back and check on it later. Just make sure, it posted and nothing was wrong with it. But it's great to have this tool. It's very useful, especially to post at the good times and when you're busy.
Gives you that omnipresence because you're posting constantly and you're scheduling it out so you don't have to think about it.
Yeah, and you could schedule this out months in advance. I mean, I would recommend maybe a month or 2 weeks in advance, so that way your posts are still relevant. But it will save you time, so that way on Monday you're planning on your posts for the next 2 weeks. You won't have to go into Canva and create any more posts for another 2 weeks.
Correct. So we're going to be, so there is a question in the chat that I want to address. I see it. Thank you very much, D'Angelo, for putting it out. So sharing directly from Canva and sharing, posting directly to your platforms. I want for those of you who are just starting out to try this out. For those of you, as you start to scale, then there is a little pushback that I love to always showcase, that when you're utilizing these platforms and you're growing, you want to make sure that you are giving the platform the respect of posting directly to the platform, because it gives you more exposure. However, for those of you who are just starting out, doing this scheduling attempt and making sure that you're lining everything up, it's perfectly fine. As you start to scale, play around with directly uploading to the platform itself to see the difference, because there is a difference. However, don't worry about that now as you're just getting started.
I would say if you are, crunched on time and you want to make sure that you're having your graphics still posted, I would post your graphics. And then when you are posting, videos or stories or reels, post them directly through the app, because those type of posts are hard to manage through Canva, but things like graphics are so easy to just schedule out and push onto your calendar. That's what I would recommend, because that's something you're going to make directly in Canva.
Correct. And also, let's throw in there, and make sure you guys write this down, is plan to create content. Put it in your calendar. Say to yourself, hey, Sunday between 12 and 3, I'm on Canva creating content for the next couple of weeks, or make it a whole day. All right, Tuesday, I'm not taking no appointments. I'm not going to any showings. I'm going to just make content all day for the next 30 days. And I'm going to do that once a month so I can not think about it. So keep that in mind. If you make, some of you may have already seen that I hosted a content creation day. Some of that content has still yet to be revealed or come out, but we've made it all over a 6-hour period. Lots of videos, lots of green screen, and of course, lots of Canva. So it allows us to build all of this content, what we call evergreen content. And I know that's a little top shelf when you're thinking about content creation, because when you're doing evergreen and organic content, these pieces of content can be utilized because there's no timestamp on it. There's no trendiness on it. I can say the same thing now and then say it again in 12 months and it still is relevant. That's evergreen content and organic. So when you do that in a batch format, you can go ahead and plan everything out perfectly.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I do social media content days. So either I myself, I pick a day and I say, okay, I'm going to take photos from 11 until 12 today of myself and my real estate gear, everything. And then from 12 to 1, maybe I'll do a lunch break. And then from 1 to 3, I'm creating on Canva. I'm pushing myself to create this content. So that way for a month, I don't have to worry about it again. I create my graphics, I create my captions, everything. So it's, out of mind when it's done.
100%. This is why we're here, people.
Yeah.
This is why we're here. All right. So who's ready to get to work?
Let's do it.
Let's get to work. All right. So remember, guys, once we dive into here, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So this is the fun part of the presentation. This is when we can really unload on what we have in store for everyone today. So one of the first things that we want you to focus on is, most of you on this call could be buyer's agents, or you could be listing agents, but we're going to start with the buyer's agents, people who are doing open houses, right? So, or people who are posting for their actual office for just listed and just sold. So let's start with that first. Let's see. Holidays. Okay. I'm checking the chat. Samantha's going to be manning the chat while I'm doing this. So let me know if there's any good questions in there, and let me know what people will say they want to see us create. So let's start out with a just listed. Okay. So just listed, all you need to do, let me slow down. All you guys need to do is when you come to the home page, you go right in here and you click just listed. And then boom. Once this pops up, it populates all of these just listed templates. And these templates are in different shapes and sizes for different platforms. We're going to be able to change those with the click of the button, but we're looking for something that we have not seen before. So let's just say we like this. We click on it. Now, when we click on a template, it gives us multiple similar templates underneath, just in case something else catches our eye. Let's just say this does. Now, it does it again. It just continues reloading. Some of them are repetitive, but you get the picture. This allows you to stay creative and stay different from everyone else. Now, as you start to use Instagram, and as you start to use Canva, you're going to see that there are a lot of creators by name in here. If you like a creator, you can click directly on that creator's name and follow that creator and also see what other things they have created. Okay, that's just a, just kind of like a rabbit hole of some sort for those nerds in the room. Check that part out because I promise you, you're not going to be disappointed. So let's just click customize design. So once you click customize design, you immediately see the template right in front of you. And now you're able to add in the elements, add in the pictures. Okay, if you had some pictures that you wanted to put in here about the home, you can go right in here and put, let's just say you wanted to put, a property inside of here. So for example, let's just click this amazing, area right there. You will load it. Once it's loaded, you will just make sure you rename it, the address, so you can always refer back to it. And when you're done, okay, always click the download and PNG. Okay, it says it's automatically loaded up as PNG, but make sure it's PNG. If it's not, sometimes it will say JPEG or PDF or MP4. Make sure it's PNG. This is the image version only. Okay, downloading this to your actual computer ensures that you can post it in another format. But when you do this on your phone, you download it and it goes directly into your photos. Okay, so everyone in here should have the Canva app. So make sure you download it. And I did promise that we were going to reveal the new Instagram dimensions. We did promise that, right, Samantha?
Yes, we did.
I think we did. All right. So for those of you who are here, you get a treat because you get to learn what Instagram is now allowing us to do. So write it down. So as you can see clearly, Instagram traditionally had a 1080, but we've discovered that the 1080, 1350 is allowable. And as you can see now, just from the added white to the photo, it is a longer post. Some of you may have never realized this, but your Instagram posts have gotten longer. And what does that mean when a post is longer? Anybody can just like unmute and jump on in.
Maybe less likely someone's going to look at it for a while.
Well, not less likely, but more likely, right? Because again, if my dimensions originally stopped here and your thumb is moving at a fast pace, you're going to go over this faster than you would if something dimensions are now longer, right? More time in front of the eyes of the user of that platform for Instagram, of course. But this is why we're here, not just for Instagram, but social media in general.
Javier, when you downloaded the picture, someone had a question. Why PNG and not JPEG?
So so I'm not a nerd enough to tell you the difference, but I believe the PNG, for me personally, I think the JPEG does work, but I think it has to do with the pixelation of the photo itself. I could be wrong, assume nothing, verify everything on that, but PNG has been what I've been using for social media since I started using social media.
Yeah, and when you're in your on your Canva app and your phone, it'll just be a download button. So it's really up to you on how you want to download it.
Absolutely. So again, this is a quick just listed. We did have a lot of open housers in here, so I'm going to go right back to the homepage by simply clicking the word Canva, takes me right back. You can do the same thing and come in here and just type in open house. Once you do so, templates pop up. Get creative. Make sure you're not utilizing something that you've seen before. Take a step out. And let's just say, for example, you like this, but this is not in the Instagram format. You can still click it, customize it. And once you are in here, all you need to do is go to the resize. Let me cancel that. Resize. I'm not going to copy it because I don't want this size in general. So I'm just going to click the resize. And once I resized it, now it has given me the format, keeping the same design. All I need to do now is go right ahead and, move it around so it lines exactly up. Okay, so one of the most important pieces about designing on Canva is these little dotted lines. These are called margin lines. They can be turned on by clearly going to File, going right over here to View Settings, and then you can go ahead and click that. Okay, this is going to help you maintain sightline at all times. If you go out of the margin line, does it mess up your photo? No, not really. But you want to make sure that your main attraction is within these bounds, because that's where the eyes are going to be. Any questions while I'm designing this or while I'm playing around with these templates?
Yeah, so one was, Javier, do you recommend using the 1080 times 1350 for Reels as well?
No, so Reels has its own. So let's just go right into the repurposing aspect of this. And let's just say, for example, let me go back home and then we're going to do a carousel. Okay, so let's just go back to repurposing. So for this is a carousel that I created for Instagram. Okay, and this carousel was 5 ways to use RPR. For those of you who know me, you know I love RPR. So I'm going to repurpose this carousel and I'm going to utilize it now for Instagram Reel. Okay, not changing anything, just pressing a button. Resize, go down, Instagram Story, because that's 1080, 1920. Copy and resize because I want to keep my original. Voila. Now you have your reel. Now, what we're going to see here is you have to reorganize things on here so you can get it centered. But once you're done reorganizing it, which I'm not going to go all the way through it and do it, you're going to click this button called Animate. After you animate it, you just choose how you want it to look. You click it, apply it to all pages, giving each page 3 seconds. And then we're going to come over here to audio. We're going to go to upbeat because we like upbeat stuff, right, people? We cool. Up, wait, make sure my sound is on. You guys hear that? Hear it, right? All right, so let's just apply it. And then now we applied it. Done. Then we just go ahead and press play. And now this is a Instagram Reel from the carousel. That's how we repurpose.
Now,
Very quick.
Javier,
Yes.
a question that came up is the reel and the story, are they the same dimensions?
Correct. Instagram Story and Instagram Reels has the same dimensions. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions in the chat before I move on to the next segment of the live?
There are a couple more questions. Let me get in here. How do I filter out to see only pro templates? I cannot find it.
Okay, so if you go into, let's just do a just sold. And now you're here, you're going to go to all filters. You can actually, I don't think, there should be a button over here that does it, but you can actually go let's just say you're clicking. I'm not sure if there's a button to see all pro from this perspective. There is an all pro button when you're looking up certain like additives to it, but let's see. I know elements allow you to do it, but I'm not sure if the templates allow you to do it. There could be a button in here because I know all pro, like typically when you go to your elements, you will click an element and then, well, let's just say you're like looking up, you know, a cell phone screen, and then you can go here and click all pro, right? For the elements, they do it. For the templates, there's a way to do it, but I wouldn't limit yourself because unless you're looking for like a super exclusive element, then you want to see all templates because Canva is so big and growing so fast that they're giving the free version of Canva still good stuff, and you don't want to miss out on that. So I wouldn't recommend using Pro for templates. Just see it all. Any other questions before we go on to the next one? Okay, so how do you make a carousel from the start? You just basically go right here and you're going to just type in the word carousel. Once you see, and I don't want to get too far down a rabbit hole, but there's a way for you to find out what carousels are trending on Instagram by your explore screen, but that's a whole nother conversation. This is the carousel screen, and these are the carousels that you will find. And let's just say, for example, you like this carousel, you will click it, and it has different carousels, of course, similar ones underneath. And let's just say you like this one instead. You click this, then you go right in and you just start editing it, start changing it, and make sure that your carousel has an indicator that shows the people to go to the next screen. And always, but not always actually, make sure you have a hook at the end. You know, was this helpful? Follow me for more. Comment below or share this or contact me now. Those kind of hooks you need to make sure you have at the end of every carousel.
Yeah, and a carousel essentially is multiple photos. So that way, when you go to post it, there's multiple photos going through on your social media. So once you go to click on someone's post, you could scroll and it'll continue on the first point. The question was, what is a carousel too? So
yeah. So the carousel is so that's definitely it. Absolutely. So let's get to some mind-blowing activity. You guys are ready for that?
I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, let's get into some mind-blowing activity. So one of the things that Canva has released that really blew my mind when I seen it, and hopefully it blows yours, is Magic Write. Okay, has anybody in here used Magic Write before? Just put it in the chat if you did or not. But how to do Magic Write is simple. You just go right here to Docs, click Start Writing. And then once you click to start writing, you're going to have this document pop up. Very easy. But now you're going to click this plus sign. Once you click it, you're going to see this bird that says Magic Write. Okay, now again, just like some of the content you guys have seen, we have gone into a lot of Pro. There is a workaround for Pro. All you need is one person to pay for Pro, and you have 5 team members. Okay, Pro is $14 a month or somewhere around there, but you can spread it across 5 people. Okay, so it's basically for it's really no cost. It's small.
There's also a yearly subscription, which is really cheap too.
Absolutely. So again, it shouldn't be an issue, but if it is an issue, you can spread it across the 5. So Magic Write is super amazing because we're going to write this very simple. Give me 5 ways to reach first-time home buyers. Boom. Boom.
No research needed, and it gives you so much more detail. I wouldn't recommend putting this many words on social media because someone's going to sit there and be like, huh, what is that? What does that say? Simplify it when it's posted on there. But if it's something that you're handing out to people, like a flyer or a postcard. I mean, this is great. It's very, very informational.
So the whole point of Magic Write is to help you with ideas of who your target audience is, right?
Yeah.
If you have a target audience, guys, this makes Canva so much more effective because everything you do is geared towards your target audience, right? Does anybody have a target audience they want to unmute and throw out there to the group so we can play around with it? Okay, everyone should have a target audience, though. I'm just pointing it out there.
I could give you mine if no one wants to raise a hand.
Yeah, what is it?
I work with first-time home buyers and first-time home sellers.
Okay, so 5 ways to reach.
Let's do sellers.
Yeah.
There.
On Instagram. Actually, I shouldn't have put Instagram, but
Yeah.
this is really cool to see how it develops. And there was a question in the chat.
There was. Does Magic Write give the same exact results to everyone, or is it random content so everyone isn't writing the same things?
It's a great question. And I do have an answer. And the answer is you're going to see a lot of the same responses to basic questions. So the better your question, the better the answer. So most people will type in stuff that we're seeing right now. 5 ways. Give me this, give me that, like something basic. However, I'm not going to go too far into detail, but there are lots of prompts that you can utilize to like expand on what you're getting. And Magic Write is going to be like the first step to using AI for people who have no clue what AI does. Now, if you want to step this up to a serious level, then you want to go over to ChatGPT, you want to go over to Perplexity AI, and then those two are now going to give you something that no one has, because you're going to be able to formulate a question that is so detailed about your target audience that the answer is just exactly what you need. And no one else has gotten that same answer because no one else is using that same prompt.
Someone else did say their target audience is 55 plus.
Okay, great. So Magic Write is really cool for just getting started. And we don't have to continue to say, give me 5. And what are the ways to reach 55 plus home sellers? Okay, so it gives you some starting point. Again, a lot of it is going to be very similar to what you previously heard, but again, we're not reinventing the wheel. This is still giving you something that you can utilize. And when you do 5 ways of something, it allows you to create, like you can create the carousel, okay? And this just gives you ideas of what to do.
So what I would suggest here is when typing in for your target audience, think of the questions that they ask you when they're looking for a house or when they're looking to sell their house. Think of, what does a 55 plus person ask me? So what, Lauren, did you want to share? What's a common question that you get?
It's not a common question that I get. It's I'm really learning Canva. I've only done like basic things, so I'm actually very impressed with this Magic Write. So I was just kind of trying to think of, different topics that we cover here, or like you said, our target audience. Can't really say that I have a question per se.
That's
No,
okay.
like what I meant, maybe I worded that wrong. Like, what kind of questions do your clients ask you that's very common?
Well, I'm just the admin, so they don't really ask me many questions. But I am taking copious notes on everything that you guys are saying. I'm just trying to figure out how to, use Canva more. And we do have a pro account, so just trying to make it more, worth our while.
Yeah.
And
What if you, I know with my older clients, they often want to know how to apply for tax discounts through the state. So I don't
Oh.
know if that's like, if you could find like the steps or a link to
We could-
add in something like that.
We could try it out. Yeah.
So
I know
this
there's
is like
tax exempt
one
and
of
stuff.
those ways that you can really take it and run with it. And the whole purpose of using Magic, right? Again, there's so much AI out there that for those questions and for those like breakdowns, I would definitely push more of a Perplexity, because Chat GPT is only up to a certain point, but Perplexity AI is up to now. So you can actually literally go into it like in there and truly like micro add the actual state name, you know, the actual process and get it laid out, and you have the site sources. Trust me, my fingers are itching to go to Perplexity right now, but this is a Canva class and I want to stay on topic, but that's a good way to really optimize this AI and truly understand how to target and how to solve those pain points of your clients. And as you can see, just the information it provided us is basic, but it's at least something that you can write, right? You can even say,
This helps me write my captions for social media, essentially.
you can even go a little bit deeper on here. And now you have a video script, but the video script goes a little further because it actually gives you B-roll. Okay, it tells you what to do, right? And you can get the B-roll on any different site or shoot it yourself. Okay, and this gives you something to start. So for those of you who are like, okay, I want to make video, but I don't know how to make video. How do I start making video? Type it in. And now it gives you a video script that you can literally see and say, oh, wow, cut to a shot of a laptop with a real estate website open. I never thought that would be cool. And then when you see the wording happen, you see the voices pop on with the B-roll in between, now your video are like leaps and bounds from where it would have been if you didn't have this. Okay, and we can even go a little bit deeper and
So back to the video a little bit, like creating a video, you could type in, what is the timeline for first-time home buyers? And then you could create a video about what the timeline is for first-time home buyers, or because they don't know, they don't understand what the timeline is. They don't understand how the process works. So creating something like that can really benefit your clientele.
100%. 100%. And now you have even more. And again, this is very light touched, so we haven't dove really deep into this, but it's giving you a way to set up your buyer seminars, letting you know the sequence of what needs to happen during that seminar for maximum effectiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody have anything they want to see done while we're here for the last 9 minutes of our presentation? It doesn't have to be magic, right? It could be a piece of content. Just unmute yourselves or just jump right into the chat. So we go back home. And I think one of the coolest things, magic, right, is definitely it. Any questions? Let's just leave it there. What's your
Do you
thought?
want to create an open house flyer? Did we do that?
I think we did, but
Then. Okay, do you think that every time you post a house you sold or listed, it should be the same template? No. Same branding, yes. But when you're going through and making templates, you could change it up. It doesn't matter. As long as it has either the same picture of you or the same colors throughout, because essentially when you're making those type of flyers or posts, not every picture is going to fit the same way.
correct. And also, when you guys are doing the content creation aspect of it, to the left-hand side, I'm going to show you really quickly, is that you can choose the style. Like you can look at all of these styles and you can choose any style that matches with your style. So for example, I like bold, right? Surprise, right? So I'm going to click bold, and I'm also going to go all the way down and click the theme. And of course, the theme is going to be, you don't have to change the theme, but if you did, you can click marketing, but it'll take you into a lot of different templates. But you do have the themes available. Of course, the gray level, if you want to go into that, subject, topic, the whole nine. But then you can also choose the color. So you can go ahead and choose any color base you like. Let's just say I choose like a tan. And I go and I press apply. Now every single open house flyer or open house content piece or Instagram post is that color starting out.
Pizza House.
Yeah. It goes into so many different directions. So you have to really play around
Because
with
it's
it.
not just for agents.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's really
Another question we got was, what kind of permission do we need for using clients' properties? It's touched upon in the listing contract, right? Yeah, it's up to you and your client. Talk to them about using their properties on social media. It's something that you should definitely ask your client, because they'll have a preference. I had a client, for example, say, you could post on Instagram, but you are not allowed to post on Facebook about my property.
correct. We're going to pull out on Canva and see all you amazing faces. There's a lot of people in here. All right. So did you guys have a good time? I mean, this was like a party without the balloons and the donuts.
I see a lot of head shakes. I mean, I have popcorn over here, so.
I wish I had some water, but that was cool. So the whole purpose of this is to truly get everyone acclimated to using Canva, not feeling overwhelmed about content, and most importantly, to get consistent. Okay, when you start out posting on social media, is it going to look crazy pretty? No, it may not. But you're posting, but post something towards your target audience. Don't post for everybody. Okay, focus on a target audience. And when you do that, you naturally become the subject matter expert, because other people don't know that you don't know. You may just be learning to reach out to 55 plus communities or veterans or first-time homeowners, but by posting about their problems consistently, people look at you and believe you're an expert.
Let's act as if.
There we go.
There we go.
Act as if. That's like a full blow, like full circle moment right there. Ollie, you.
Oh yeah.
Any questions, guys? Really, you can unmute yourselves and just ask so we can make sure you got exactly what you came here for.
Yeah, and I also want to point out, if you guys have any questions or need anything, Javier and I are both here if you need us. The end of the presentation does have our contact information. Part 1 on the recording will have it as well. So if you need it, we're here. So don't be afraid.
Put my name. I'm going to put not my name, because you know my name. I will put my name so you know that it's my information. I'm going to put my telephone number in the chat. If you guys have any questions, feel free to send me a text. I'm reachable. We are actual human beings, so we're available. And I want you all to feel connected to just say, hey, can I ask you a couple questions about it? Or, hey, here's a piece of content that I've created. Can you take a look at it for me? And I know that sounds weird, but on Canva, you can download the link. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so if anybody, and again, I'm not expecting everyone to just unload on me with all kinds of links, but let's just say, for example, this was your post, right? And you were like, I'm not sure about this post. This post is not giving me the vibes I need. You can just click the button share. Everyone can see my screen, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. Click the button share and then do a copy. Well, you want to go here and click anyone with the link and then copy the link. And when you copy the link, it's already copied. Go to your email and then send me the link, or send anybody the link that you want to look at it, and they can go in now and help you and add in some stuff or critique it for you. Cool. So it's like a little added bonus. That's if you take advantage of it.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many more things in Canva that we haven't discussed, but There's so many videos out there. There's that Canva school that I was talking about last time. Feel free to hop on that and see the generic things that Canva has to share.
Absolutely. Any questions before we get out here? We had our time. We made our time. Good.
Javier, it's Jason down here in Florida.
Jason, my man, how you doing?
Oh, sorry. One quick thing. I saw today I was messing with Canva and I had a document and I was able to upload the PDF into Canva and edit the file and then customize it for myself. So I thought that was great. I never knew you could do that before. You import the document.
Yes, so that is a high level. Jason is our amazing team member down in Florida, and that is a high level piece of information, Jason. And we don't want to confuse you guys. So Samantha was correct. It's like a whole mansion of Canva. We just got into the lobby and like only went down the first hallway because down every hallway, you're just going to be like overwhelmed. You're not going to do anything with it. So stay in the first hallway, guys. If you want to venture out when you are comfortable. But what we just went over today is that first hallway. Once you get into what Jason is speaking on, you're like close to the penthouse level, right? And it's really cool because it allows you to do so much. And once you get there, you're going to look back at this time and be like, man, this was like the perfect moment of that foundation push that you needed.
Don't forget to tag BCAR on all your posts if you are posting. We will check it out and come comment and like.
Yeah, seriously, because there is a car company out there that uses BCAR. So for all of you BCAR members in the building, we need to take back our hashtag. So I'm just saying, like I'm just saying. So use hashtag, write this down. Hashtag BCAR. That's what you use when you make a post. Because we're going to be able to see it. Like I said, we're going to blow up your page. Just give you all kinds of likes, but we can't do it if we don't know where you are. So without having the entire chat smothered in Instagram handles, just hashtag BCAR. Let's take our hashtag back.
Love that, Javier. That's amazing.
For
Take it
real.
back.
It's like a car dealer somewhere like Illinois using BCAR.
I don't think there's any more questions. So thank you so much, Javier and Samantha. We truly appreciate your time.